All right, put your paws together for FocusSight!
Hello, everyone. Thank you for the warm welcome, Fox. Hi, if you don't know me, I am FocusSight, or just Focus. I'm actually a volunteer here for Fastest Furs, and I've been for the past few marathons. I'm very excited. We had Mega Man Xtreme 2 as the opener a few marathons ago, and now we're getting to see the game that came before it, Mega Man Xtreme, 1, otherwise known as Rockman X Cyber Mission in Japan, which is what we are playing on, the Japanese release. So before I begin the actual run, I want to just show off some of the options that we have here. Like with Xtreme 2 as well, I'm playing on a real Game Boy player using Game Boy interface, playing with a Game Boy Advance as my controller, and I have start and select mapped to R and L respectively. That will be more apparent once you see what dash is. This game has a dash button, and it is start, which is a choice that they had to make. And so to make it more convenient, we have decided to allow for remapping of the start button to a more common button for dash, like R. So that is available on this run and allowed by the rules of the actual game. So this is the setting we have in the game here, that dash is start. We also have operation here, where you have auto charge and Rencha. Rencha is auto fire. Both of these will be set to on at the beginning of the run, and we are going to adjust them throughout the run for various different reasons we will see. So let's get back to the beginning of the menu here. The mode we're playing is Extreme Mode. Extreme Mode is basically the full game without cutscenes. Game start just puts you on normal mode, which is half the game, and then it continues the plot and finishes the fight in the hard mode. Extreme Mode is all that wrapped into one mode, much more convenient, and the fact that it doesn't have cutscenes is actually quite nice. So if we're ready on time, I'll begin in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
I was gonna say, Focus, you're making me nostalgic for that Game Boy.
So, Mega Man Xtreme is quite interesting because, you know, it's a Game Boy Color game. Although we're playing on a Game Boy Advance, so you're nostalgic for, so not quite the same thing, but it is the most comfortable to use. The plot in Mega Man Xtreme is really weird. It doesn't really fit into the canon at all. It fits in between Mega Man X2 and X3 technically, but it is almost entirely a rehash of Mega Man X1 and 2 in different ways and forms. So you are basically playing through the beginning of X1 again, and the reason why is that the computer that holds all the data in the universe here, in the X series, has been hacked. And all the previous memories are now re-emerged, and you need to fight them again, which is basically their way of saying, yeah, we're going to make you fight all the bosses once more. So we're seeing Vile here again, everything from X1's coming back, but the whole point of this is there are two bad people, Zane and Gamil, who are going to be hacking into this computer. It's our job to stop them, which we're going to do by beating bosses we've already beaten before. Which is, it's just what it is. The plot doesn't really make much sense. It's just a way to say, hey, this is why we did most of the SNES stuff on a Game Boy Color. 100%, which is the category we're running, and requires us to get all the armor capsules, all the sub-tanks, this first sub-tank is here, and all the heart tanks, of which there are 8. Did not time that well. Timing that's a little bit frustrating. I actually don't know if I don't have the sub... I have the sub-tank. Cool, I don't have to do that again. So that's basically all that's required in 100%. It's a pretty simple category, like most Mega Man 100% runs. I cannot believe that happened again. In fact, I'm going to restart, not the run itself, but I can actually reload from autosave points, which is quite nice. I'm going to have to get the sub-tank again, unfortunately, but that's fine. The flashing lights that you've seen, that flash and says Japanese text, it says autosave. This game has a save system that makes it really easy to restart stuff. It makes it very friendly for runs, as you can see. So I don't have to worry about those 2 lives being lost. I can just restart from here. It was a lot safer this time. The game pretty much plays exactly like any other Mega Man X game does. You have a dash button, and everything sort of works the way you would anticipate. Ooh, good save there. But it's all on the Game Boy Color, which makes it a little bit jank at times, as you can see from the wall jumping we've had to do in the first stage. We are actually doing a little bit of sequence breaking from the beginning here. This normally requires an upgrade plus a certain weapon to get to, but with just the right timing there, you can actually skip having to use that, and you get the first armor capsule of the game. This is Dr. Light, who you've seen from the previous game. And we got the head upgrade. The helmet upgrade gives us the ability to break bricks with our head, which is useful for getting some of the upgrades in the next few stages. It's also why we do Storm Eagle here first. The other reason is because Storm Eagle is probably the easiest fight to do with just the base buster. So we're just going to shoot immediately, and then he's going to have a few different patterns. The one we want him to stay on is this, where he's just pushing us back with wind. I'm hoping he comes back down. He is not. So now you have the one where he dashes from the sky, much like in the original Mega Man X. Again, this is a very faithful conversion port. It's hard to really call this something. I've seen people call it a demake. It's not really a demake because it's not the same plot. But Mega Man Xtreme, the first game, almost certainly is exactly like its SNES predecessors. The sequel is a lot more original. But, you know, it's still really interesting to see this on a Game Boy Color. With that, we've defeated Storm Eagle, bar the kind of a mess of a beginning there, but still okay.
And we have a donation, if I might chime in real quick.
Yeah, so, the next part is actually pretty simple, because this stage is just a stage we kind of blast through pretty quickly, and we're just doing it in weakness order for this time being, because here, Flame Stag is weak to the weapon we just got. So yeah, you're free to say the donation for sure.
Cool. We have The Meat, $25, saying, Extreme Gaming!
Thank you so much, Gray. I appreciate that. So, yeah. This stage is just all about movement, more or less. A lot of wall jumps. The game can be a bit finicky with its wall jumps at times. There is a certain rhythm to climbing up walls really quickly. It's not mashing A, it's sort of tapping the button at the right moments. Here we have the second armor capsule. This gives us half damage, which is quite useful. It means that from now on out, I don't have to be as worried about the damage I take. Still need to be a slight bit worried, but not too much. Climbing up this wall is very particular with its timing. I'm trying to do it so I don't get hit. There we go, got that cycle fine, after a bit of fidgeting at the beginning. And now we have Flame Stag. So Flame Stag is arguably the easiest boss in this game. Because I have auto fire on, I can just hold the shoot button. I'm just going to do that to get the first hit in. And then there's three things that they can do. They can either slide like that on the ground, which is ideal, actually. Wow. They can stay there, which is actually the worst part. Or they can immediately jump. So 2/3 of them, I'm jumping on the wall because 2/3 of the time they're going to come towards me. The other third, they're going to stay in place. And I'm pretty much just trying to optimize where exactly I want to shoot. And that is Flame Stag. This is where things get a little bit different. We've just gotten Speed Burner, which is actually what we needed to use in order to get the previous weapon, the previous upgrade in Storm Eagle stage. Instead, this time here, we're going to skip the weakness order and go to Magna Centipede. And the reason we're doing that is because Magna Centipede has the most useful armor capsule in the entire game, which is Zero Final. And also, we're going to do a lot of sequence breaking here. There is a... Oh, shoot. Did not mean to do that. Need to wait a little bit. I'm going to stand here. I'm going to just hold left to wall jump off that. Normally, I'm supposed to use Speed Burner, charged. We don't have the arm parts upgrade yet, so I'm not actually allowed to do that at this point. Just hitting that at the right pixel, though, allows us to actually skip needing that, and the same here. If I just jump at the right place, we can get that one pixel and get both the heart tank and sub-tank upgrades. I'm now going to switch to Speed Burner, because Speed Burner does a lot of damage per second, especially on mini-bosses like this. It takes 11 hits, and so I just need to time them out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I think 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Cool. And in this next section, we're going to have a target following us, just like in the SNES game. And we want to avoid it so that we don't waste time on the rest of the stage. Oh my gosh. Oh, that was tense. I'll say that much. And we now get Zero Final. The Zero Final here is one of the 4 Zero part selections. Apparently Zero is just in the computer to help you, and he can just do things, which I find weird, but it's what the game says happens. Same here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. But Zero's most useful way to assist us is a move called Zero Final. We select it from the menu, and it does 10 points of damage to any boss. All bosses in this game, by the way, have 32 hit points. And 10 is a good amount because most of the weapons in this game do at most 3 damage. Unlike Xtreme 2, where a lot of the damage is overpowered because of parts you can get and just your base weapon is a lot stronger, this game doesn't have that. The Zero Final does a lot of damage to bosses that we can't do normally. We don't have the weakness for Magna Centipede, so we're just going to use Charge Shots. So Charge Shots do 2 points of damage. You need to make sure to time these correctly, otherwise you risk either just losing time because you don't have the full charge shot, or you risk actually entirely losing your charge shot to this boss in particular. Because weirdly enough, Magna Centipede has a move here which actually does remove the charge shot ability. We haven't actually gotten it at all, which is quite weird. But that's Magna Centipede. It would normally, there's this thing which gravitates to the tail, and then it would suck the power away from X? I don't understand either. Fortunately, we didn't get that, but the reason why we do this stage out of order is because we need to get Zero Final for the remaining bosses in the game. It's such a useful upgrade to get that we want to get it as soon as possible, and it's a little bit faster to get it after Flamestag. You could try to put it in second, try to then use it on Flamestag, but there is not a powerful weapon equivalent to Speedburner that you can get before that would be useful on those mini-bosses in Magna Centipede, so that's the order we do it in and why. We're now going on to Shill Penguin, which most people who've played X1 know is the first stage in the game for that. We already have a dash, because we already got the boots upgrade when we did X1, and so we don't need the boots upgrade to get a dash again. Instead, what the boots upgrade here gives us is the ability to wall jump with the dash. So in the previous X games, you could hold the dash button on the wall, and when you wall jump, you'd go further. In this game, if you get the boots power-up, it's just going to be that permanently. There's no way to choose, and so to make the previous stage easier, those skips we did to get the heart tank and sub tank a little bit easier, we don't want the full dash jump, or dash wall jump. We want to get it after that, and so we do that here now. And then once again, we're going to, here with Shill Penguin, we're going to use Zero Final immediately to get 10 points of damage off. And I mismenued. Okay. His weakness is Speedburner. And Shill Penguin can do a bunch of stuff. Kind of weird what Shill Penguin can do. The most annoying one is this. He's entirely invincible at that point. And you just want to time your shots correctly so that you don't hit the points of invincibility. Pretty sure he's doing it again. Shoot over, because he usually jumps. Pretty decent Shill Penguin. In fact, this could gold. Let's see here. Oh, it's very close to golding. Just barely not. But very good. And we get Shock and Ice from that. And then pretty much the rest of the run here is in weakness order. So we now have... forgetting the English name. Spark Mandrill. Spark Mandrill here is quite a simple stage, to be honest. So I'm not going to really say much for the first part. So if you have anything you'd like to read, now's the time, Fox.
Perfect timing. Want to thank Glacia for the $50 donation saying... Radico Eyes and Ori Please, I believe those are emotes. And that also, once again, breaks our tie in Tunic for the Fox color. Blue Demi-Pride is now in the lead. By the way, Tunic is coming up next for those curious.
Thank you very much. Yeah, so a lot of the stuff here is just really... compared to Xtreme 2, which has actual unique stages, a lot of this stuff in Xtreme 1 is just really faithful remakes of SNES stages. So this is exactly like Spark Mandrill is in the SNES game. And it's actually quite impressive how much they managed to put into just, you know, a Game Boy Color cartridge. This is one of my favorite points for movement because it's just really fun to try to beat the camera. We're going to go ahead and wall jump here to get the heart tank and try to do so without going onto the next wall. Here we go. Some really cool movement here. We're going to actually use the dash jump here to skip all that. So it's sort of like a Toho game. You're just sort of trying to dodge everything. I'm going to jump onto this right part because it's actually faster, but I'm not getting into the wall. Here we go. Sometimes you get power-ups and sometimes they don't work properly. Sometimes you think you break the bricks, but you actually don't. Now's the time where we're going to do a bunch of menuing here. So, in order to use this, which is the arm parts, which allows for charged special weapons, we need to turn off auto-fire. Because auto-fire, or auto-charge, only works for the main buster. It does not work for the special weapon. The only way to get the special weapons to charge is to disable auto-fire entirely. So we have to do that in the menu there, but it doesn't take that much time. So Spark Mandrill here, we don't have the same exploit we do in X1, unfortunately. But we do have a similar-ish one, so I'm going to try to see if I can do it. We're going to want to try to get him with this charge shot, then have him drop down. So when he gets here, we want him to try to dash to my left. Perfect. That actually is a quicker way to defeat the boss, because that means you get, off of one charge shot, multiple hits. In fact, 2 freezes from that, which is actually quite fast, and therefore we get it just like that. Very happy with that, actually. Now comes my single favorite stage in this entire game. Armored Armadillo, everyone, who's also the cutest maverick in this game, don't at me. And I'm saying that's saying something because I'm a gator myself. I'm actually, my Sona's a shark gator. And so I should love Wheel Gator, but he's actually my least favorite in this game because he's a horrible boss. I love Armored Armadillo, though. This stage is really fun. So we get the same platforms we do in the X1, and they have really interesting physics in this game. Watch. Just go flying. We're going to take some damage. We're going to bring these bats down with us. Take some damage here because taking damage on the front of this enemy is instant kill, but on the back of it, it's just a normal hit. So that allows us to get the sub-tank there pretty quickly. Just some quick movement through here. Keep on dashing, keep on timing shots properly, avoiding the spikes, of course. I'm going to try to time a shot here so that it hits the enemies up top. Almost all of them. Not quite all of them. Get hit from the back here. Same thing as before, we're going to dash through, we're going to try to get the heart tank up here. Anytime the screen scrolls, you want to stop the screen from scrolling as soon as possible, because going through it without it scrolling is faster than with. And then that's the end of the stage, pretty much. Really, really fun one. We're just going to do one more platform jump here at the very end to get to this capsule, which is... The remaining capsules in the game, by the way, are pretty much just additional zero-up, zero moves that we don't actually use. The most useful one, and the only really interesting one, is Zero Final. We still need to collect them all for 100%, of course. So we do. The Hadouken is not in this stage. I will leave it at that as to whether or not it's in the rest of the game. The Hadouken's not in this stage, though. So I'm going to instantly... Oh, wait, no. I'm going to instantly shoot twice to disable the protection that Armored Armadillo has, and I'm going to use Zero Final. When you use Zero Final, you can hold charge, by the way, in the animation leading back to it. That means I can get a charge shot in without having to wait for the charge animation. There's no wasted or spent time because of that sort of routing, which means we can kill in one more shot, or one less shot than normal. Which is quite quick, and honestly really, really, really fun to do. Alright, so now I get the most broken weapon in the entire game. Rolling Shield is really, really broken. And it's because of its charged variant. If you've played X1, you know that the charged variant of Rolling Shield is a shield around you, which normally helps with stuff. In this game, it allows you to do some interesting things. So I've instantly switched to Rolling Shield because we're going to use it throughout this entire stage. It's not even the weakness for Wheel Gator. This is yet another zero part. Again, we don't use it, but we need to collect it. I'm going to instantly hold, like, charge at this point and see where we go from here. Because if I just wait... This power-up allows us to stand on spikes. Like, spikes do no damage. And it's only if you lose the shield that you don't have that invulnerability anymore. But this makes for a very broken power-up. Normally you're supposed to use Charge Speed Burner to get this. You could just use Charge Rolling Shield. Just like that. And it has its uses besides that, of course, but that's its main use. And we're going to see that to skip certain things in the coming stages. Hint, hint. Gonna go through here. I'm going to use the screen scroll, or try to use the screen scroll to my advantage here. If I do it properly, and let's see if I do. Yes, I do. There's normally a giant enemy there. But you actually can go so fast in this game that you actually despawn stuff on scroll. So you want stuff to scroll in just the right way in order for you to do that. So now we have Wheel Gator, which is my least favorite boss in the entire game because he can just do this. So Wheel Gator has a lot of invulnerability at points. Only when he's like this and throwing the shields is he actually vulnerable. Otherwise, he's invulnerable. This move's invulnerable. And then he can go underground and shoot 2 wheels, and then it's still invulnerable. The only time he's vulnerable is here. Oh my gosh, he went under again? Yeah, this is one of the more apparent instances of RNG in this game. It's quite an annoying boss, because it's just down to what you get. It's also why I don't instantly use Zero Final, because he may be invincible from the start. Alrighty, and now we have the final Maverick stage, which is Morph Moth. And Morph Moth, apart from being hard to say, is a pretty basic stage. There's some interesting things involved, but at the very beginning of the stage, we're just going to use charged spin wheel to get the final armor capsule, and then we're going to go through and do some nice combat using Storm Tornado. I'm trying to remember the English names for these. So with that in mind, you have time for another donation or another shout out if you need to, Fox.
Currently, no new donations. However, for those just coming in, I want to also say who we're playing for tonight and for the weekend. That would be OR, which is the Organization for Autism Research. The Organization for Autism Research has been founded and led by the families of children with autism throughout its 20-year history. They have earned a reputation for excellence from the autism community, as well as charity review organizations. They currently hold a 4-star rating from Charity Navigator and a top-rated rating from Great Nonprofits. For more information, you can visit them at www.researchautism.org. Also, hype in chat. We got $2,222. Look at those 4 2s. Gotta love it. Thank you to all who have donated.
If only I was playing Xtreme too. Anyhow. Yeah, so you can see from that mini-boss there, for some reason it's super weak to Storm Tornado, but he's also my son, it's important to say. I love that boy for no reason in particular, other than it really looks like the SNES sprite. Like, this is a really accurate recreation of the SNES game. It's incredible that this is a Game Boy Color game. My boy, we're gonna kill him again. My son is dead. And the thing inside him was also now dead. It's fine. The spirit of my son lives on. Gonna dash through here. That enemy is what we actually despawned in the previous stage, which is quite interesting. It's such a big sprite, you wouldn't think it could be despawned, but you can totally do so. So the interesting thing about Morph Moth, he actually has 2 weaknesses. He's weak to both Rolling Shield, which is what we're using right now, and Speed Burner. The name for Speed Burner is different in Japan. It is Rapid Burner, hence why I'm sometimes misremembering the names, because, like, the actual... what's it called? The names that come on the menu here are actually the Japanese ones, and so you see, like, R Burner, and it's like, that's not Speed Burner. And so I sometimes have a difficult time remembering which is which. That was a pretty good Morph Moth, and we're getting on to the first Sigma stage, because Sigma was actually behind all this, and who would have thought? It's Sigma, everyone, but it's actually... this is the only time we're going to see any unique bosses in Mega Man Xtreme. This is where we see the hackers for the computer, Zane and Gamil. Gamel? G-E-E-M-E-L. Chat, you can say how that's pronounced, because I have no idea. I've been trying to figure it out for years now. So Zane is first. He has a giant sword. We're going to use Shotgun Ice on him. And the pattern is like this. So he's only vulnerable when he's when he's actually done a jump slash. So right after the jump slash is when he's vulnerable. So we're going to shoot Shotgun Ice uncharged for the first 3. And I'm going to hold a charge for this next one. Have him come over here. Going to release when he's right there. Okay. Didn't get the full use of the charge shot like I wanted. Yeah, so if you don't get full use of the charge shot there, you're going to mess up like 1 cycle here. Which is okay, but you want to do it within 3, ideally. You're now going to switch to Speedburner. Speedburner is useful against Gimel. Gimeru is the Japanese name, so I'm assuming it's Gimel. Gimel's a ninja, and so we'll throw shurikens at you. We're just going to shoot fire at him, because that's an effective way to kill ninjas. Fun fact. You're going to teleport. We want him to be over here, as far to the left as possible. And then he's going to get on his magic carpet, which is just a ninja kite, which I didn't even know was a thing before this game existed. Like, I didn't know what a ninja kite was at all. I just thought this was a magic carpet. He's just going to repeat like that, we got him in a loop like that, and bam, we're done.
He's gonna show you a whole new world, watch out.
He sure is, and that whole new world is him burning to death, so that's fun. So we're going to use Charge Speed Burner here. That's the move we were supposed to use to get to those platforms in Magna Centipede. And this is a bit treacherous because you don't really get much health drops here until this next part. I'm going to switch to Rolling Shield to play safe here. Going to wait until it's full, and I can just go through all this without needing to worry about like taking damage. And then we have arguably the hardest of the bosses in this section. Bow Spider is very difficult. We're going to play that minigame from Super Mario 64 DS. We're just going to play that one. The one with the ladders and the 4 things? Yeah, we're going to do that. This takes 4 charged shots and 2 uncharged shots and a 0 final to kill. And it's all just based on what you get here. So you need to make sure you pay attention to the lines quick enough. There's different rates of speed. And if it's too simple, or I don't even know what causes Bow Spider to drop the spiders like that, but actually it slows things down considerably because you can't do anything when this happens. And so the boss is pretty much just luck. We just need 2 more uncharged shots and then 0 finals, so we shouldn't have too much left here. But it is very interesting because if you aren't paying attention, you can easily get hit. And it is, I have killed, or I've died, runs have died to this boss. Alright, that's Bow Spider, everyone. And that's Sigma Stage 1. The next stage is based off of one of the Sigma stages. Why did I go up in menu? I was thinking Xtreme 2 because the menuing is different there. This is based off one of the stages in X2, one of the end stages there. In fact, the second stage, and we're going to fight a boss from X2. We're going to fight Surges here. But this entire section is made completely redundant thanks to our friend Rolling Shield. So normally, in order to get to this area we want to get to, we need to bring that platform that changes position every time you jump on it up like that. But you can just step on spikes here, jump dash, and get there like that. Completely makes it entirely redundant and trivial. And I love it for that. Same here. Normally you're supposed to use Charge Speed Burner to survive. You don't need to. And what's this? A capsule? A capsule containing the Hadouken and Shoryuken? Oh, you shouldn't have. They are in this game, in fact, and it is exactly like it is in X2. This is where you get the Shoryuken in that game. Unfortunate fact for everyone, though, they are completely useless in this game. They do 5 damage, and it's not an instant kill like in X2 or X1 at all. Which is a bit of a shame. I wish they had more use in the Xtreme titles. They actually do have use in Xtreme 1 and Xtreme 2 now. We thought they didn't, but they actually do, which is quite nice. We're now just going to spam Electric Spark to get rid of all these. This is Surges. He is weak to Rolling Shield, so we're just going to throw orbs at him. Ponder this. He takes 8 hits, 8 uncharged shots, and it's hard to do a charged shot Rolling Shield, because that means just jumping into him with a shield on. And so you just do this. He does have 2 weaknesses, but it's much harder to shoot. Please hit. Oh, thank God. He does have a second weakness, but it's actually harder to get that shot to hit compared to this one. And also, yeah, we're stepping on spikes, but we're absolutely fine. Don't worry, Mega Man loves this. And we're getting on to the end of the game, basically. What we all have coming up is just the refights and then Wolf Sigma. Well, Sigma and then Wolf Sigma. So the refights here are actually really tactical compared to the other sort of Xtreme game. These require a lot of damage retention, or just, damage avoidance. And so you want to be very careful, because again, most of the stuff in this game does at most 4 damage, and that's a fully charged shot. We're going to start in this order and go counterclockwise, or go clockwise, rather. It also reduces the amount of menuing I need to do in the menuing to switch to weakness weapons. Usually it's only 1 or 2 inputs at most with this order. But yeah, it's pretty much just the bosses again. A good point for donations and/or announcements about the marathon.
Perfect timing. We have a $2 donation from Tempest Mask 1000 reading, "Let's go Xtreme! As a Mega Man speedrunner who got his start on the sequel, I'm practically indebted to these hidden gems of the franchise. It's been a wild ride, and I'm glad I shared enough of it with Focus. I look forward to seeing one of these 2 games hitting the big stage soon. Until then, rock on, Focus."
Aw, thank you, Tempest. We're getting a really good pattern here from our good friend Chill Penguin. Not doing the move that annoys me. He's just sliding around on his belly, being a funny boy. Wow, he might give us a really good pattern, actually. If he doesn't do 1, I'm just gonna clap. Had to end with 1. Had to end with 1, of course. It's Chill Penguin. Wouldn't be Chill Penguin without that move, where he's completely invulnerable. What Tempest was referring to there is that actually this game, along with its sequel, got into SGDQ 2022 as a bid war. I will be running that on Tuesday, June 28th, in the middle of the Mega Man block. And so you can choose between this game and its sequel. In this exact category. Okay, so he's going up. Now we just need to use the charge shot, unfortunately. But the weird thing about this charge shot is it can persist through different, iterations for some reason. Like, you can just have it come up twice and then it kill. So yeah, Shoryu in Xtreme 2, the Shoryu works like an X2. It's 16 and then 16. So, the rest of the series, or the rest of the Game Boy Color games follow suit with that, but only for the refights, not for Sigma, not for anything else. Aw, shoot. Then instantly... There we go. This is a little bit concerning. I need to be very cautious with this fight in particular, because this weapon is the weakness for Sigma's first phase. So I can't use too much of it. I have to preserve it. I think we should be fine with the, stuff we have there, hopefully. Just gonna quickly go up here to Wheel Gator. That's not the weakness. Okay. Instantly goes into the ground, huh? Instantly. Huh. That kind of sucks. Use Charge Shot here. Completely invulnerable during this attack. Oh, back into the ground again. Wow. Wow! This boss sure is being... I love alligators, but I don't like this boss. It's a shame. It's a shame for us alligator likers that this is our representation. Okay, that was fine, I guess. But yeah, there's so much RNG in that fight in particular. Fortunately, we're going to start on what is probably the easiest fight next. Which is Magna Centipede. If we use Magna Centipede's weakness, Silk Shot, this boss becomes very simple. It is Simon Says. Which corner of the field will he appear in? Just shoot him. Comically easy. Gonna go to Rolling Shield, so we don't have much flame or much speed burner left, so Rolling Shield's the better weakness to use of the two here. Oh, wrong way. I definitely went the wrong way there. Gonna go around, take six shots total to go into the next phase. Then we're gonna use charge speed burner or charge Rolling Shield twice, and then should take 2 more hits thereafter. Only issue is if you mess up a Rolling Shield, it's gonna roll on the ground, which you don't ideally want, but, you know, we live and let learn. We're gonna go to Storm Tornado for the final boss, which is our friend of the channel, Flamestag. Instantly shoot, wait and see what he does. Ideally, he does that.
Focus, can I pop in here with the donation?
Absolutely, go right ahead.
We just got a $200 donation from Mega Drago 88 saying, "Heyo everybody at Fastest Furs! Hope the runs have been fast and fun. Give Sigma some good buster shots for me, Focus. You got this. We are now at $2,424. Thank you, Mega Drago, for the $200 donation."
Gosh, Drago. Drago just went the heck off right there. My god. Alright, so we're gonna go switch to Electric Spark, which is the weakness for Sigma here. Sigma is a very difficult boss in this game, because even with half damage, we take a lot of damage if we mess up here. First thing we're gonna do is use Zero Final. He has 10 points of damage still for this boss. Then I'm gonna charge an Electric Spark, and hopefully release it when he actually does something. He has 3 things he can do. He can do a little sword swipe, which is the ideal thing. He can bounce on the walls, which is not the best thing. Okay, that was easy. Very, very nice. And we're pretty much coming up on time right soon. So we have the final boss. The computer is now broken, and we actually are fighting Sigma in the real world now, not just in this computer simulation, which where everything leaked. And we get Wolf Sigma. Can I get a woo in the chat? This is him, Wolf Sigma, just like an X1, except he's weak to 2 things, and the easiest weakness is just this. This is how we end the boss, by just placing a saw on his face and then going with that. I may die, actually. Yeah, I thought so. Because I took too much damage there. That's okay. We have another shot. And we didn't waste that much of this move either, anyhow, so... Time ends as soon as we get the final hit on Sigma. So the underneath of the claws takes damage. You just want to try to avoid that. Oh my gosh. Okay. We just need one more hit, and then time is coming up. Now. 3604 on my end.
Heck yeah.
Considering the beginning of this run, this is actually a pretty good time. Still 3 minutes under estimate, considering this run had, you know, a completely botched first stage and a death at the final boss. But yeah, pretty good overall. So yeah, Mega Man Xtreme, we've finished everything. The Xtreme mode doesn't really have a proper conclusion, but the actual conclusion is that there were 2 people who were helping us, something called Double, or not Double, that's the next 4. I forget their names. They kind of look like Double, though, so I just think of them as Double 2 and Double 3. One of them is good, one of them is bad, they're both brothers, and if one dies, the other dies, and so both of them die because you kill the other person who also helped hack into the computer. And then X3 happens. It kind of just is a game in this series, which is why a lot of people don't really know about the Xtreme titles. But I will say for sure that I love the Xtreme games, and that they are really, really neat. And I'm really happy to have shown off a lot of stuff. That looks like a passcode, but it's actually... So a lot of the devs for this game use, like, nicknames and stuff, which you see in this, like, cutscene. I think it says Ryotaro's mama at some point. Sensei is one who's actually, again, these aren't the actual names, but they're here. And yeah, so if you are interested in the Xtreme titles, you can follow me at twitch.tv/FocusSight or on twitter.com/FocusSight. I will be running this as a bid war, as mentioned, in SGDQ 2022, and I'll be sure to shout out Fastest Furs because I absolutely love this community. I'm really happy to be a part of it. I would recommend, since you've seen Xtreme 1, why not bid for Xtreme 2? And that's pretty much it for me. Keep on watching. I will actually be hosting on Sunday morning, so I will be able to read your donations in case you want me to say anything funny or furry. And with that, thank you, Fox, for your hosting shift as well. I think this is the last run of your shift, isn't it?
It is indeed. And before you go, the winner is Focus.
Wow, that was impressive. That's
Thank you.
Really, you did I hear like a? Did you add an echo? I felt an echo.
There was an echo, yes.
Like I just felt for a second there was something there that was just like not. Like I genuinely, I was taken aback. That was really good, Fox.
Well, thank you.
Thank you for having me as well, everyone. Keep on watching, keep on donating, and also Sigma's coming back, as he's saying right here. Except he's in full color this time.